pumping. Jamie Ray Nichols is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Jamie Ray Nichols is driving through turn 9. Sean Motter is on their out lap. Sean Motter is looking relatively composed going through turn 7, toe.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Sean Motter appears focused and prepared driving through turn 9.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Sean Motter completes their lap in their BCRCM E McLaren GT3, putting them in P14. This is where the mental game comes into play. ALCH3 My 07 RSZA is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run. ALCH3 My 07 RSZA is driving through turn 7, toe.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
You can feel the tension building. Rayon B is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time. Rayon B is looking relatively composed going through turn 9.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
It looks like Jamie Ray Nichols is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right. Jamie Ray Nichols crosses the start-finish line at the end of their out lap. Jamie Ray Nichols appears focused and prepared driving through turn 2, Essex. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. This is what it's all about. DR33 is putting everything they've got into this qualifying session.
Yes, they are. It takes a special kind of driver to thrive under this kind of pressure.
DR33 is driving through turn 5, outer loop. It's all about strategy in these early moments. Richard Reshka is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right. Richard Reshka is looking relatively composed going through turn 8, heel. The adrenaline is pumping. Mike Ramsey is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Mike Ramsey appears focused and prepared driving through turn 10. That's the out lap done for Mike Ramsey. They'll now look to focus on their first flying lap. Sean Motter is on their out lap. Sean Motter is driving through turn 5, outer loop.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Bardman is looking relatively composed going through turn 3, S's.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Danny Van Ruyen will be looking to use this first hot lap to set a solid time in the standings. You can feel the tension building. ALCH3 My 07 RSZA is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
JP Brand is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Well, Carol, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Rian B is nailing both.
They certainly are. This is shaping up to be a great performance by Rian B.
Jamie Ray Nichols is trying to find that extra performance.
Every driver needs something different, Carol. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more from relaxing and being in a flow state.
Jamie Ray Nichols is where the mental game comes here driving through turn 5. Sean Motter is taking their time to prepare for
There's
their
a spot near
qualifying.
here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Dirk Ruiz is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
Fonta 77 is up -0.43. Fonta 77 is now up -0.49 in turn 6, laces.
Fanta 77 needs all the focus and resolve they can muster to maintain this pace.
Bardman is trying to find that extra performance.
Well, Carol, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. It seems like Danny Van Ruyen is struggling, currently 0.19 off their best pace.
Danny Van Ruyen is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
It looks like DR Bean 33 is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right. Sean Motter is on their first flying lap.
Let's see if they can put a good marker down.
Sean Motter is driving through turn 7, toe.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
Joni Geldenhuys is looking for ways to improve their consistency. DR Bean 33 is trying to find that extra performance.
Every driver needs something different, Carol. Some drivers excel when they push harder, while other drivers benefit more from relaxing and being in a flow state.
DR Bean 33 is looking relatively composed going through turn 8, heel.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
It's clear that Rian B is pushing theater car to the very edge of traction on this qualifying lap.
It's certainly exciting to watch, but let's not forget, the goal is to secure a good starting position for the race.
Mike Ramsey is looking for ways to improve their consistency. Joni Geldenhuys is trying to find that extra performance. Joni Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through turn 8, heel. Sean Motter is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
They'll need to put together a perfect lap, hitting every apex and pushing the car to the limit without going over it.
The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but Richard Reshka is rising to the occasion.
Absolutely, Richard Reschke is showing the world what they're made of.
Joni Geldenhuys is trying to find that extra performance. Joni Geldenhuys is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.25 seconds down. Rion B is up minus 0.26.
Well, Carol, it seems like Rion B has got the need for speed and nothing is going to stop them now.
Rion B is driving through turn 10 and is up minus 0.11.
All we can do now is wish Rion B luck as they continue their way to start, finish.
Rion B has some work to do as that 144.157 is only good enough for 11th.
There's still more time to be had, but I don't know if they're going to find it before the session is over.
Rion B is driving through turn 2, Essex.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Joni Geldenhuys is looking for ways to improve their consistency.
Well, Carol, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
Joni Geldenhuys is looking relatively from Danny Van through turn 3. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Rion B, and they have set the bar high for their competitors. They find themselves in 12th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements. Rion B appears focused and prepared driving through turn 8, heel. A solid qualifying performance by LCH3 My07 RSZA, positioning them in 7th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. LCH3 My07 RSZA has some work to do as that 147.995 is only good enough for 7th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
Impressive display by Sean Motter, currently sitting in position 5. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Sean Motter is driving through turn 6, Lucis. What a performance from LCH3 My07 RSZA. They currently occupy 7th on the grid. It's a good spot for now, but other drivers are trying their hardest to put in a better time and push them down the order. It seems like LCH3 My07 RSZA is struggling, currently 0.18 off their best pace. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Watkins Glen Boot Classic, as we're getting ready to kick things off. The second position belongs to JP Brand.
JP Brand is looking on for a strong result.
And in third place, we have GT3.
A strong grid position, and they'll be expecting a solid result today.
Taking off from the fourth grid slot is the skilled driver, Bardman. The fifth place on the grid belongs to Sean Motter, a driver with plenty of experience.
Sean Mater will be expecting to bring home solid points.
The lights are off. It's pedal to the metal time.
This is where the real action begins. The drivers will be jostling for position and trying to gain any advantage they can.
Absolutely. It's a crucial part of the race, and the drivers will need to be on top of it to make it through here unscathed.
Safety car.
The first
Speed
sector is
100
always a bit of a nail-biter. With so many cars bunched together, one small mistake can be disastrous.
They'll need to keep their wits about them and stay focused if they want to come out of this section unscathed. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the pack whilst they're still bunched up.
The drivers are walking a fine line during the first lap melee as everyone tries to establish themselves. It's easy for inexperienced racers to blow it in T1.
Someone must have told GT3 this was a parade lap, because they're losing places like they're waving to the crowd.
Maybe GT3 is just trying to make things more interesting, but they'll need to step on it if they want to recover from this start.
There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is feeling out the drivers around them.
I for one am really excited, Carol. The rivalry between Sean Mater and Bardman has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Sean Motter, who is currently in P5. But Bardman is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Sean Motter. This is a thrilling battle as Joni Geldenhuys edges closer to Jamie Ray Nichols in their fight for P9.
The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Johnny Geldenhuys is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Jamie Ray Nichols.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Big gains for Sean Motter as they move up the field, leaving Bardman behind.
Yes, but Sean Mater can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
This is wheel-to-wheel racing at its finest. The drivers are practically glued together as they fight for every inch of track. It's a battle you don't want to miss. Sean Motter is giving it their all as they chase down Danny Van Ruyen in P2.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Sean Mater needs to stay patient and wait for Danny Van Ruyen to make a mistake.
Dirk Buys is going to be starting from 6th.
The South African driver has been driving the wheels off the BCRCM-E Porsche GT3 in practice.
Sitting in 7th is LCH3 My 07 RSZA. Joni Geldenhuys will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 8th on the grid.
Expect some battling with LCH3 My 07 RSZA.
This is getting exciting. JP Brand is looking for any gap that might open up the position.
Danny Van Ruyen is doing a great job of defending in the lead, and JP Brand is pushing hard to close the gap. It's an exciting race and it's not over yet.
The race is really heating up. JP Brand is hunting down Danny Van Ruyen with everything they've got. Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly. A great pass for LCH3 My 07 RSZA as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Joni Geldenhuys has lost ground.
Absolutely. LCH3 My 07 RSZA is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There are still plenty of challenges ahead.
Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Simspeed Motorsports. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Simspeed Motorsports really is the place to be for top quality racing.
Fonta 77 could be looking for a way up the inside of Mike Ramsey.
If they get too close, they might end up taking the paint off.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Dirk Huys is chasing Peter Geldenhuys in P11.
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Looks like JP Brand is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. JP Brand should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Danny Van Ruyen.
LCH3 My 07 RSZA is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all—
Hold up, braking info. Oh dear, Fonta 77 has had an incident. The battle for one is heating up as JP Brand tries to catch Danny Van Ruyen in P1. LCH3 07 RSZA wants to find a way round Bardman.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Look at that, Peter Geldenhuys is hot on the tail of Dirk Huys. Fonta 77 wants to get into Richard Reshka's slipstream.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
Oh, this is getting intense. Danny Van Ruyen is just a few car lengths behind JP Brand.
I would not be surprised if they get this pass completed soon.
LCH3 My 07 RSZA wants to close that gap with Bardman. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with dirt buoys trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Mike Ramsey. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. The pressure is on for Fonta 77 as they try to catch up to Richard Reshka. Is far behind, but JP Brand can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Bardman an opening to catch up. Seems like LCH3 My 07 RSCA is getting in range of Bardman. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Joni Geldenhuis in 7th chases after Rian B. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Joni Geldenhuis needs to find a way to close the gap.
It's going to be tough for Joni Geldenhuis, as Rian B seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Joni Geldenhuis pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
The action is non-stop as Mike Ramsey shadows dirt buoys through every twist and turn, determined to claim one. It looks like Peter Geldenhuis is pushing hard to catch up to Richard Reshka. That's not a small gap, but Peter Geldenhuis has what it takes to challenge for the position.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Richard Reshke is not going to give up the position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Peter Geldenhuis in P12 doing everything they can to catch up.
Things are heating up as JP Brand tries to close the gap to Sean Martin. Hold up, breaking info. Oh dear, Fonta 77 has had an incident. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. LCH3 My 07 RSCA is on a mission, chasing Bardman, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
This is what it's all about, folks. Rian B is in hot pursuit of Joni Geldenhuis, who's just trying to stay ahead. This is a thrilling battle as Peter Geldenhuis edges closer to Richard Reshke in their fight for P10.
The racing is getting tight between Peter Geldenhuis and Richard Reshke as they battle for P10. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position.
Hold up, breaking info. Oh dear, Fonta 77 has had an incident. The race is heating up as Rian B in 6th closes in on Joni Geldenhuis. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Peter Geldenhuis appears to be trying to find a way round DR Beam 33. They can make a move on them in turn 8, heel. As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right. And with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight. But instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. This is where the race gets really interesting. DR Beam 33 is closing in on Richard Reshke.
The mental game is just as important here. DR Beam 33 must keep their cool while putting pressure on Richard Reshke.
In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown. It looks like we might get a battle between Richard Reshka and DR Bean 3-3.
That's a great effort from Richard Reschke. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
LCH3 My 07 RSZA is placed third at the moment.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
The pressure is on, but these drivers are showing tremendous respect for each other while going all out. It's a masterclass in clean, hard racing.
Exactly, Carol. It's like a high-stakes chess match on wheels. These drivers are analyzing every move and trying to anticipate their opponent's next move. It's a true test of their mental acuity.
A strong showing from LCH3 My 07 RSZA, who is currently third. LCH3 My 07 RSZA is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.32 seconds down.
LCH3 My 07 RSZA needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of.
3 cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but that's not always enough.
You're absolutely right, Carol. The different strategies employed by these drivers add another layer of excitement. It's fascinating to see how they adapt their approach to gain a competitive edge.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Peter Geldenhuys trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Richard Reshka. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting, and witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Peter Geldenhuys intent determined to catch up. But we know Richard Reschke isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Peter Geldenhuys is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Bardman will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
That's right, Bardman in second knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Danny Van Ruyen is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
LCH3 My 07 RSZA is looking for an opportunity to get round Sean Motter. The gap between LCH3 My 07 RSZA and Sean Motter is getting smaller.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
Great driving from LCH3 My 07 RSZA, who has just gained a place and moved up to third. The tension is building as Peter Geldenhuys trails behind Richard Reshka. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Richard Reshka is pushing to maintain the lead, while Peter Geldenhuys is working to close in and challenge for the position. Peter Geldenhuys has got their head down now, working those exits and apexes and setting their best lap time so far with a 1 minute.
It's always good to see Peter Geldenhuys improving.
A brilliant maneuver from Peter Geldenhuys, who has just moved up the field.
That's what we like to see. Peter Geldenhuys is really showing their class today.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Bardman as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Bardman is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
Good news for Bardman, the gap to Danny Van Ruyen has decreased. It's now down to 0.3 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. Hard-fought battles with as much determination as respect, between friends and enemies alike.
Ryan B has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Joni Geldenhuys. I expect their only hope at this point is that Joni Geldenhuys makes an error. Breaking update. Joni Geldenhuys has decided to pit. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Bardman, who is currently in P2. But Danny Van Ruyen is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Bardman.
Absolutely.
Hold up, breaking info. Ryan B is pitting. Things don't seem to be going Bardman's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here. Wait, Jamie Ray Nichols is in the pits. Well, it doesn't look like Bardman is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Danny Van Ruyen. Bardman is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Danny Van Ruyen to 0.6 seconds. The delta between Ryan B in 9th and Jamie Ray Nichols remains over a second, but Ryan B is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 12 minutes left in this session to make that happen. Hold on a moment. It looks like Bardman has been called into the pits. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Ryan B as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
Anything can happen yet, and it usually does. I've certainly seen drivers come back from work.
Wait, Sean Motter has pulled into the pits. Ryan B has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Jamie Ray Nichols. I expect their only hope at this point is that Jamie Ray Nichols makes an error. It's game on now. Ryan B has closed the gap to Jamie Ray Nichols. It's now down to 0.4 seconds. What a move. Ryan B has moved up to 8th. The gap between Jamie Ray Nichols and Ryan B is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Jamie Ray Nichols to even allow Ryan B to get a look in. Wait, Sean Motter has pulled into the pits. The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Ryan B in 7th chases after Jamie Ray Nichols. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Ryan B needs to find a way to close the gap.
It's moments like these that make...
Wait, Danny Van Ruyen has decided to pit. Every move counts now as Jamie Ray Nichols works to reel in Ryan B and overtake for P6. Jamie Ray Nichols has the pedal to the metal chasing Ryan B.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake. It's just a matter of who cracks first.
Hold on a second. Al CH3 My 07 RSZA is in the pits. The crowd is on its feet as Jamie Ray Nichols chases down Ryan B through turn 10. Fantastic braking update. Danny Van Ruyen is pitting. The pursuit is on. Jamie Ray Nichols is closing the gap on Ryan B, determined to claim P4.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Stop the press. It looks like Mike Ramsey has been called into the pits. Wow, Jamie Ray Nichols is really pushing hard to catch up to Ryan B. There's blood in the water for 4th place.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. This is racing at its finest.
Let's talk about tire degradation. Carl, how does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Carol. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle.
Breaking news, folks. Dirk Ruiz has pulled into the pits. Hold on to your hats, folks. Jamie Ray Nichols is right on the heels of Ryan B, and we're in for a wild ride. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Danny Van Ruyen will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Danny Van Ruyen tries to reel in JP Brand. But JP Brand is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Danny Van Ruyen needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to JP Brand and move up the field.
JP Brand is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play.
Jamie Ray Nichols could be looking for a way up the inside of Ryan B. Danny Van Ruyen is running 6th. They are trying to catch JP Brand. It seems like Danny Van Ruyen is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Danny Van Ruyen needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of.
This one's going to be tough. JP Brand is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for Danny Van Ruyen to make a move.
It's not over yet. Danny Van Ruyen is right on JP Brand's tail, and if they can find just a little bit of extra speed, they might be.
Stop the press. Dirk Ruiz has decided to pit. This is going to be a nail-biter. JP Brand is defending for their life, but Danny Van Ruyen is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake. A strong showing from Joni Geldenhuys, who is currently 2nd.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
Oh, hold that thought. Hold the phone. Oh dear, Joni Geldenhuys has had an incident. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
That's right, Carol. The pressure can easily get the best of even seasoned drivers. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Danny Van Ruyen trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Ryan B. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
Absolutely, Danny Van Ruyen in third will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damage.
Wait, Danny Van Ruyen is in the pits. The battle for 3 is heating up as Jamie Ray Nichols tries to catch JP Brand in Q3. The race is really heating up. LCH3 My 07 RSZA is hunting down Joni Geldenhuys with everything they've got. It looks like we might get a battle between LCH3 My 07 RSZA and Joni Geldenhuys. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely, what a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Carol. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
While LCH3 My 07 RSZA is not under immediate threat from Joni Geldenhuys, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
Absolutely right, Carol, and Joni Geldenhuys knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Things don't seem to be going JP Brand's way in this race, as that's a big gap they'll have to close to even be in with a shout for gaining a place here.
They certainly aren't going to be close enough to mount any kind of challenge soon unless it's down to a mistake from Joni Geldenhuys.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. LCH3 My 07 RSZA has just put in a faster lap than Rian B, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
The question is now, can Rian B respond to that in kind? They are going to have to pick up the pace.
And LCH3 My 07 RSZA has just won the place from Rian B.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
Oh, this is getting intense. JP Brand is just behind Joni Geldenhuys. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with JP Brand gaining places and Joni Geldenhuys losing them.
Absolutely, Carol, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and JP Brand can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
As we enjoy seeing these titans of the track battle it out, let's not forget about the pit crews. Those guys and girls are like a well-oiled machine themselves.
Absolutely, they're the unsung heroes of the racing world. But you know what they say, behind every great driver is an even greater pit crew.
Well, it doesn't look like Joni Geldenhuys is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone LCH3 My 07 RSZA. A great moment for Joni Geldenhuys, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings.
Yes, Joni Geldenhuys is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
The crowd is on their feet, roaring with excitement. It's an all-out war between these three drivers. I can only hope the netcode keeps up with their fearlessness.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Carol. The door-to-door action is exhilarating. The bravery required to go side by side like that is something only the best drivers possess.
It's looking good for Jamie Ray Nichols, sitting in second.
Yes, But they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Carl Jamie Ray Nichols has seen their lead over Ryan B shrink to 3.0 seconds.
Can they keep them behind him? Let's see.
It's all about consistency for Sean Motter, who is currently first.
Definitely Carroll, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
He can't hold on. Sean Motter is losing time to Jamie Ray Nichols. Carl, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Carroll. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another layer of complexity to the racing challenge.
Things are going according to plan for Sean Motter, who is currently first.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Bardman as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time. This is where the true champions shine, and Sean Motter is certainly showing their class in the final sector. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Sean Motter, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books.
You can see the sheer determination on Sean Motor's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
Impressive second-place finish for Jamie Ray Nichols. What a race from Ryan B, showing their skill and determination for a great third-place finish. Followed by JP Brand and Joni Geldenhuys in 4th and 5th. Sixth sees Al CH3 My 07 RSZA. With Bardman in 7th. Taking 8th is Dirk Guies. Peter Geldenhuys brings home 9th.